see all MSC lock ONIC. They need something stable. They go for a Claude under a lineup that has so many crowd control that can stop his initiation. Are we in agreement here? I feel like we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ONIC Philippines should be.
Yep, I'm in YSS's boat.
Yeah,
I'm in that boat.
yeah, you're in this turtle ship. Is
I'm
what
in a
it's
turtle
called.
ship.
I think that's 2 drafts in a row now where on paper it looks like it's just so tough for ONIC ID to make it work. While ONIC PH, yeah, a little bit unique, but at the same time, the idea is clear and there's a lot of capability for them to shine on their own roles. You don't have to rely too much on playing together as a team. Leo, LaFell, what do you guys think about the 2 drafts?
I think we're going to see a lot of fighting here. Heck, 3 fighters on 1 composition. I want to see ONIC Philippines pushing it through, but hey, ONIC Indonesia with a standard draft here. Maybe they could do something by pushing it all the way to the late game. Welcome, folks, to the second game of this 3rd place matchup. It's me, LaFell, and Leo calling this one.
Nothing is impossible given that in the first game of the series, an XP laner, Nay and Edith, with no Sky Piercer, mind you, scored a Savage. So who's to say what and what can happen here in ONIC versus ONIC?
Something that I can say, though, this time is much different for this Kalia because, heck, now she has backup with a lot of damage and a lot of range. I kind of feel like that's the important part. I agree with the panel that it is a very difficult draft for this Farsa. But if you win by too much, it won't matter. So that's kind of the goal here coming in from ONIC Indonesia. Try to win enough so that even if something happens, they can't outplay you.
There's a lot of easy and quick damage coming through, but can that force themselves through the CC? Again, the sheer amount of crowd control that ONIC PH have on demand. Look at that XP lane matchup again, the Arlet against the CC, which I believe that Arlets, the majority of Arlets, save for Sanford's, have just ran into weird situations, especially the ones in Rome. But here, against CC, I think it's a valid pick.
And here's the thing, man. Looking at ONIC ID, almost every single person here has some form of dash to get out of a very sticky situation. So it does feel like ONIC ID, they're trusting on their own instincts as well as mechanics to make sure that they can outplay ONIC Philippines. So this is definitely one of those games where the reaction time is going to be highlighted by both teams.
Oh, Brusco here walking into that long side lane brush towards the corner. Kirk, vengeance on the 1 key boy. Jumps in, final slash from Kirk, not gonna keep him alive long enough as he gets drawn first blood on by Lutpi. ONIC ID already on the board, the vengeance popped in, keeping himself alive as Keyboy starts up the turtle.
Good instinct by Kairi, making sure it doesn't go in, and now Tether S right used.
Very low HP, ONIC PH, the duo, the trio gets pushed back. ONIC ID claim the turtle, and now they're attempting Grand Theft Purple. Final slash once more. Can they stop it? The Tsunami Slam takes down Kirk. And where'd the purple go? It's on Kairi.
And now, honestly, even though, yes, Keyboy got taken down, this is what ONIC ID is trying to establish. Some kind of map control earlier on, especially giving over the goal to either Sans or Kairi. Kairi, even though he only got 2 assists, it's better than nothing, right? Of course, you want to kill here, but either way, I feel like this is very good by ONIC Indonesia. As long as they can get more kills, and then preferably before the Lord spawns, get some turrets. At least 2, and I think you're in a very good position where you can just out-damage ONIC Philippines.
And that's what you're looking for if you want to really invest in this sound macro direction that you're going for. Again, very low kill count, very good movement to isolate certain parts of ONIC PH's attempts at, chain CCs. And so far, I think this is going to benefit plenty for Savero. We know that Savero, if he takes care of himself and he invests in himself, in his kit, that he has this clutch gene late game that maybe will allow him to claw ONIC ID back. But what if they're comfortable? What if they're in a good position all game long?
Looking at the rotations here coming in from ONIC Philippines, ONIC ID, they need to be aware by Turtle 2, it will most likely be 5-man coming in from ONIC Philippines. So they have to make a decision whether they want 4v5 or 5v5.
And that's 30 seconds from now. They started up. Already a Tsunami Slam on the Kirk. Won't let him live, but LaFell, isn't that overkill? They threw all them's ults on him.
Hey, maybe. ONIC ID is secretly just Destroyer. They really don't like that Arlet.
He was in their ear.
Yep.
And it makes sense because part of the joke you want to get that final slash out of the equation. That can change the entirety of your approach. Imagine being within retribution range, get hit by that sweeping ult, push to the side, and then suddenly, poof, King Kong steals it. Speaking of King Kong, Mountain Shocker revealing everyone from ONIC ID where their whereabouts are. The I'm Offended forcing the response, the Feather Strike, and the Vengeance. The Fist Break trying to stop him from getting in the way. King Kong scores it, taking down Lutpi as well, while Kairi finds Sprint. Tsunami Slam onto one. Kirk flickers back. The break once more, trying to stop the forward momentum of ONIC ID, will result in a 2-for-1 trade. Make that a 3, because ONIC PH got the turtle.
Right now, I feel we can finally hear some noise coming in from Kairi fans, because how long have they waited for him to use this kind of pick, using the Lancelot, dashing in and now getting all those kills, and now he's looking amazing.
Too long, LaFell, too long. He is so comfortable. You can see it in his movement. This is that same hero that he's used years back to run away from an inevitable death that we all could have sworn he was going to die from. But Kairi looked at death and said, nah, not today. About 2,000 gold ahead, ONIC IDR, and the map seemed to be on their side. Again, this is just going to benefit Savero all the while. He's not sweating at all.
Yep, Kairi making Lancelot look like Lance too much. And again, they're going for one lane. They found Kelra. They want to go for it.
Tsunami Slam onto the Ruby. Again, there's only so much you can do as a fighter. You flicker back, you were still going to die regardless. You were right smack dab in the middle of the circumference of that Feathered Airstrike, and there's so much pressure up top. Mountain Shocker used up the stun portion of that ult. Gonna push back ONIC ID.
And this is how you make sure that your far side is safe by everyone that can disable you, which is using the ultimate crowd control. Death! Just kill them first! So this is a good initiation coming in from ONIC ID. And so far, Kirk not having a good time going up against Lutpi. And Kairi's here, looks like he's not going to go for any kind of engage, probably saving all those skills for this turtle.
Sadly, the one way that the Arlot could have been good into the CC is if you're away from the lane, if you're fighting somewhere else, if you're using your kit in a different way. A Tsunami Slam, serving it up, putting it at the tip of the Feathered Airstrike. Sans wailing away, hits him with 2 salvos, but Kelra survives with a flicker, but he's out of the conversation for this turtle take.
Yeah, but again, no Tsunami Slam coming in from Keyboy, so they got to make sure whoever engages next is going to be good.
Fist break and a crack on the Lutpi, forcing the Vengeance, putting 4 members down of ONIC PH very low, and 3 bite the dust. Savero gets a double. ONIC ID are running through the super family.
I gotta say, man, Farsa and Kali are best friends because they made the impossible possible. Have 5 counters on your side. I don't care. This Kalia is going to give so much kill or opportunity for the Farsa to actually be doing much. Right now, we're looking into the replay here where Lutpi was the one that got engaged, but that Vengeance made it so that not only did he survive, but actually got a lot of reflect damage onto ONIC Philippines. And this iteration of Lancelot deals so much damage so that that kind of outplay is possible.
Back to real life here. Sans just pulled the Feathered Airstrike to try and help Savero clear this wave and possibly take down this turret a notch or two. And I just noticed something. LaFell, this humble skin on Savero's Claude, its blazing duet is deceptively subtle.
Yeah.
It has a very low visual identity. You barely know that it's going on up until you see your life just at half.
Yeah, but speaking of which, looks like another engage going in, but looks like Keyboy caught no one. Oh, an engage!
Here comes Brusco punching his way through his problems, through ONIC PH's problems, and now Kirk, right in the middle, smack dab of 4 members of ONIC ID gets punished. Mountain Shocker plus a stun, not gonna stop Lutpi's forward momentum, popping that Vengeance, keeping ONIC ID's momentum up.
ONIC PH has a tough time asking ONIC ID to slow down, to stop moving. They have a lot of crowd control, but again, all of it is being avoided by ONIC Indonesia because we're seeing them moving in and out of the team fight quite freely. And I would say this is more on ONIC ID having that instinct of dodging all those kills, where we see Kairi just stopping in his own tracks, anticipating some kind of engage either coming in from Kurt or Brusco.
Yep, fundamentally speaking, ONIC ID have all of the initiation. ONIC ID have all the ways to start fights. ONIC PH, what they're really good at is anticipating and reacting. I'm offended, check. Fist crack, fist break, check. Mountain Shocker, check. Final slash, check. So that alone is what describes this dichotomy between the ONIC ID and ONIC PH lineups. One is waiting, the other just saying, let's keep going, let's fight, let's fight. Lord here, down to a third, a fifth, an eighth, a 10th, and it's over. A clean take for the Sky Kings.
Looks like a better engage coming in. Tsunami Slam onto Kirk. It looks like Kirk is going to get taken down. And now Brusco tries to make a play. It looks like Severo is still able to get some pulling in Loopy, but it still survives.
So far, so good, so great for ONIC ID. Taking 2 kills, suffering none, plus the Lord along the way, marching down bot. The Super Fam, they can't catch a break again. It's in the nature of these lineups. Who's the beatdown? 99% of the time, it's ONIC ID, a feathered airstrike, plus another Tsunami Slam. The final slash catching nobody, except for Keyboy. He was a little in too deep, goes down.
I like the inhibitors, the mid lane still having that Holy Shield does make it very difficult for ONIC ID to really end the game. So now it really is about choking ONIC Philippines, making sure that they don't get any farm after this.
But here's what's scary, Lafel. I have to mention, ONIC PH, yes, they are a reactive lineup. Their comp would like to wait for you to try and engage. That's very strong at the high ground defense. It's lethal, especially if you're underneath your tier 3s. And look at this.
Looking at King Kong, still respectable amount of damage with the Blade of Despair as well as the Hunter Strike. A lot of penetration cooldown as well as just raw damage, but you really can't compare when the Lancelot have 3 items here. Even having 1 defense item with the Brute Force, making it so that even if you do catch him, it's going to be hard to take him down.
Yeah, I'd reckon King Kong is about 1,000 away from finishing his endless battle. So that's definitely a big power spike that he can expect. All this while Severo just picked up his Rose Gold Meteor Dog. That's the 4th item after the Swift Trinity. So it already comes to reason that even in the mid game, you're already hurting with your subtle Blazing Duet, your stealth Blazing Duet. What more now when you're a little more chunkier, when you can protect yourself just for a second or 2 longer? He invested in this, mind you, instead of the Wind of Nature. But look, the Wind of Nature would also be very good since there are 3 fighters.
I gotta say, Feathered Airstrike, a lot of the firepower is dealt with.
And it's all the more easier, if anything, Lafel. They have great tools. They have the Mount Shocker. They can see where the pieces of ONIC ID are, but this 9k gold lead is just too huge. Kelra here, nice attempt, flicker, I'm offended, no one home. But here comes the punish to Keyboy looking for a target. Already spent the Tsunami Slam. Brusco and Kirk hit with a curtain call. Brusco able to retreat, and ONIC PH sent packing.
Yep, a lot were used, but still, no one really died in that final engage. And ONIC ID, they're fine with that. Having 10,000 gold, the minions are looking good. They're setting it up. The Lord is marching down bot, trying to slow it down so that Kairi can get his buff first. This could be an end angle, but like you said, the draft coming in from ONIC Philippines, they're actually very good at defending. So ONIC ID, if they want it, they got to get some kills first.
ONIC ID are just waiting for this Lord to come crashing, so they're managing the movements of these waves from mid and top. Not going to be fully synced, but at least that's a lot of pressure coming down on the Super Fam's base. Here comes the Lord, putting that bottom lane inhibitor at about 0 health. And there's the damage on Keyboy. Lutpi pushing the advantage. Mount Shocker here by King Kong, checking range. Final slash finds one, but Keyboy answers back in kind. They also want the finish. Feather Strike coming in, plus a Tsunami Slam. Oh, the I'm offended, not enough to save him. Didn't even get to pull it out. Here comes the Blazing Duet. King Kong gonna fall, and just Kirk left to defend. Can he do it? Vengeance plus a final slash plus another Vengeance, and now it's over. ONIC ID take us to deadlock, 1-1.
It took a while, but finally, this is the ONIC Indonesia we've been waiting for. A lot of burst damage, a lot of engages.